I am heading to this free walking tour and we shall see how it goes. So we are in, not we, but me, you know what I mean. But I'm taking you along, so it's we now. In Bratislava, Slovakia. And I am going to explore this place to see what it's like so far. This is what it's looking like. Really, 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 really nice so far. Let's journey. I think I am in the old town, but I'm not too quite sure. I should look at the map, but I'm almost positive I am. So like a beautiful church. I tell you, one thing when you travel all over, the images, meaning the buildings, are so beautiful. Let's travel, guys.
Language starts now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. Now you learn how to count to 15. Super, well done. Okay, so officially welcome. My name is Bianca. I'm local. I work in tourism. I used to work in Greece a lot. I speak the language as well. But I now will introduce you this country a little bit, but mainly the capital, the city Bratislava. Have you been here before, by the way? No? And you can tell me, you're not that big group. Where are you from? Just like some countries? Some countries. Italy.
Russian.
Ukraine.
Jamaica.
Okay, Jamaica, wow.
Romania.
Oh, okay.
South Africa.
Oh, interesting. Super, so welcome. Okay, so a little bit some info before we start. So these are free walking tours, so it's based on tips, so it's all up to you how you wish to support me and us as a group. We usually do it at the very end. And also with that, I'll give you for free recommendations on paper. The food you have written in Slovak and translated, don't worry. So I will show you also the photographs of our food, so you don't have to write down like sometimes, but you will see that. And also on one side of this recommendation paper you have a language lesson, so you can learn way to the left from your side. I will enter this, it's called the Old City Hall. It's no longer City Hall, so we have time. But before that I will give you a little brief introduction to the history, if you don't mind, so you just navigate a bit. So currently this is Bratislava, Slovakia, but it wasn't always like this. We were part of Hungarian kingdom. Hungary is south 20 minutes from Bratislava already, so close. So they were our neighbors and they occupied us from the year 1000. When before, in 8th, 9th century, we used to have this big kingdom with Czechs, which was called Grand Moravia. We had a Slavic kingdom with Old Slavic language, and that's why now we have Slovak and they have Czech, so we understand each other, right? So it developed a little bit differently. But back to that, in year 1000 more or less, Hungarians dominated here. So occupied us from the year 1000. When before, in 8th, 9th century, we used to have this big kingdom with Czechs, which was called Grand Moravia. We had a Slavic kingdom with Old Slavic language, and that's why now we we have Slovak and they have Czech, so we understand each other, right? So it developed a little bit differently. But back to that, in year 1000 more or less, Hungarians dominated here. So they had a big influence over us. You know, we had to speak Hungarian to have privileges. In Romania, you understand that, right? They did the same thing. So yeah. But in the city, it was something nice, also for the families. You know, it was like a multicultural place. Plus, later on, as you might know, over there west is Austria. Super. So that was introduction. Anytime you have questions that I didn't say something or you're interested, feel free. I like questions. Okay.
And
Not just everyone at the same time. Yeah.
Which would be the reason for your split up?
They said political reason.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you
they
don't
said
have
it. But there were some rumor background reasons. For example, also we Slovaks, as you could understand from the story, we were also a little bit annoyed and bored, or how to say, from that someone was always over us, dominating. So, but this is very background. You find it maybe on some blogs online, but we also wanted it a bit, right? But it wasn't the main one. Well, the Czechs, the Czech help to make Czechoslovakia was the best one, of course, because we are having similar cultures, similar language, families were mixed, but still always everything was ruled from Prague. Yeah, they were a little bit deciding more, let's say, yeah. So yeah, we
it
were
was
finally
50-50.
Yeah.
It was like 60-40.
But we still have very good relation. You know, always when there is prime minister being nominated, the first visit abroad, the big one is to Czech. President the same, and they do the same. We have some agreements. We can speak about a little bit about this on the tour. Okay? Not to keep you longer. Any question here? Yeah. So we start now. You see, the city council tour will go that way towards the big church, cathedral, Saint Martin, Coronation Church, because within the Hungarian kingdom, Bratislava became the capital of it instead of Budapest, and we became coronation city because the Turks, aka back then the Ottomans, the bad guys, okay, enemies, they attacked Hungary from south, so it was like wars, battles, so they decided to move it to Bratislava, yeah? Capital and coronations. So we will speak about that. And we became a very amazing city. And many of these palaces, like you see here, they belong to aristocrats or governors, local ones, right? So this is called here Main Square, very unique, special name, because this place was for gatherings, political speeches, market. They would have every week market, like fruits, vegetables, animals for sale, Nowadays, unfortunately, we don't have it, and I think the reason is that not many people live in the downtown, and we have lots of different suburbs around. Yeah, there is a fountain. The king on the top, he was the first crowned in that cathedral in 16th century, when it started to be Bratislava. Get ready, you will hear about also the directory, some coronations and stuff, but then we go to the church and some stories. Ready to uncover the hidden gems?
Yes.
Let's go.
Oops, sorry, that's okay, darling.
So many of these fortresses and castles were built, and oftentimes decorated with these kinds of dragons and griffins and creatures like this. But I would like to show you this because we will see it again, and you can spot it on our decorations on the walls and the buildings. This here is the symbol for Bratislava city, medieval old symbol. And we have these 3 Gothic towers with a gate. I will take you, as you heard, to the old place of the city walls. So we'll talk about that. We had this great protection. We are now appearing inside the old city walls, so you understand better. But this used to be the symbol. It's not only very unique for our city, because for example Prague, if you go or you've been, they have the same practically, but they have spires on the top like this, sharp, yeah? And when you go to this different country with a very similar name, Slovenia, yeah, and the capital Ljubljana, they have one tower like that with a dragon. Because they're see, for example, the roof up there is like a neo-Renaissance, and they made it in 20th century. So once in the past it was like that, with Renaissance styles. Okay, and this here already we got the place. This is the Pink Palace, and this is the official square named after it. The palace is attached with the name Primate Palace. It's just clarification, it's not the apes, like in English, primates. Like primate is the top title for archbishop. Or it's like another title to say archbishops, they had, within this Hungarian kingdom, they had a seat in Hungary now, called Hungary. It's called Esztergom. There is always the center of archbishop now. And when we became coronation city, they moved over here. And the primate, that's the title. In Slovak we say primas. That's why it's like primaciálny palác in Slovak. He was the, not only like religious boss, but he was also like a governor. So he had rights over the city as well, like the boss of the bosses, something like Pharaoh. And when we became coronation city and the capital of the kingdom of Hungary, they built for themselves 2 residences. This was the winter residence, where they would sleep, their residence, and they would also have summer residence, which is 20 minutes on walk like this, on foot, where we have our government seat inside. It's beautiful Baroque style palace. Well, this is a very important building, not only for the archbishops, but they would also sign peaces, the peace, after the wars inside. There is a so-called mirror hall inside, which you can visit. I will show you where. And they would meet important royals, and then agreements. We also had one agreement signed there, which is called the Pressburg Peace. Pressburg is the old name for Bratislava, the German one, when we had 3 languages, before 1918. And we were once occupied by Napoleon Bonaparte. He got here also. So, and after this war, he was in the war against Austrian king. They would sign the peace over here inside the palace, right? Their representatives only, not themselves. Then also something else we had happening with this palace. They accidentally found 6 pieces of tapestries. It's like the full series of all these tapestries that were made in Mortlake near London. They look like this. It's like one postcard consisting of 6 of them. This is the palace in the middle. And they are like big like this, like 1.5 meters long and similar for height. They are made of silk and wool. They're original, and most probably some archbishop, he ordered it and they got here, But imagine that all these centuries, they were hidden inside the double walls. And when already the palace was sold to the municipality of Bratislava, they would do renovations. They would be like, with screwdrivers and hammers, and they would suddenly uncover like, oh, there is something. So they found one, and they thought like, oh, let's search for another one, and they found 6. And it's not very usual, because usually you have like one place has one, Denmark has another one. It's like this, just like example. But we were lucky and we found them. But already these were the times when Hungarian archbishops, we were already Czechoslovakia, right? So they sold it to Bratislava municipality, so it was already ours. And in the document they stated like, we are selling the palace with everything included inside. And guess what? When we discovered that, and it was like shown in news and stuff, the bishop less than 1 hour and half an hour, we could say also. One last thing, since we stopped, I will show you one movie where they used also this palace from inside. It's this one. Do you know the movie? Of course you know the actor, right? George Clooney. Anyone knows the movie? It's from 1997. It's called Peacemaker, like over there. Like that, and another circle. In that corner there is also a chapel of Saint Ladislav, one local saint from Hungarian kingdom times. You cannot enter the chapel. They only open it on special occasions. You know how it is. It's only on for public, I think. I've never been there. But you at least have a look through the window and you see the chapel. And here I see where we're trying to continue next to another street. Country, yeah?
Huh?
You live in Jamaica?
I go back and forth. I live in Florida.
All right. I thought that maybe you was. You're from where? Kingston?
Kingston.
Yeah?
I'm from Kingston. That I'm from. For
Okay.
real. I know a lot of
Right.
people say they're from Kingston, but they're not from Kingston.
Okay. Because it's famous also, right?
Right.
I want to visit one day.
You should
Yeah,
definitely.
Caribbean, right? Amazing. towards the entrance.
The blue church. And it's gorgeous.
graduation hall inside. So you get your diploma here, or we. Okay. And also there is a law faculty and philosophical one, but I will tell you briefly in some short time one story with that building, so remember that. Careful the cars. So another green. Over to left. Okay, so the promise story with this building. Now I'll take you back to the same year as Prior opened. Remember what is Prior?
Yes, the mall.
The prior house, and send it to the west. So the photograph, I wait for the tram. The photograph like this was published in the Western media, like the the New York Times, also in the German Die Welt, for example, or the Spiegel, etc. So some of the big ones in the West, so people learn about it. Unfortunately, some of the people, they thought it's in Prague, so it was nicknamed as in Prague, but now you have the proof. So spread the words. We had this brave guy. He did that. It's in Bratislava. Imagine that I read the article in the newspaper. He normally continued to his household, with his family. He didn't mention anything to them. And the family members, they learned it from the newspaper, and they scolded him like, "Are you crazy? What you did? We could lose the jobs and stuff like this." By the way, after the whole era and this 68, it didn't help at all. Yeah, the era afterwards was called the so-called normalization, and yeah, as the name says, making things back to normal. So more suppression, more centralized power, confiscation of the properties, wealth and whatever people had, job positions, and this he was expelled to Russia and go there for life. before I start with the view, I also want to tell you about the bridge. And yeah, be a little careful because spring is coming and all kinds of meat with wheels. You know, it's used for the bicycles and scooters. So, before I tell you about the view briefly, I want to mention also this bridge. It comes with the name Old Bridge, even though it's the newest. Okay, this was completely renovated. The old one over here in 2016. So this is the old bridge. That one there, I will speak about it in a while. It's the new bridge, Novi Most, but it's one of the oldest. Yeah, so we have this thing. That's why I call it the green bridge. Anyway, but there is a story with the old one, which was on the same place here. In the middle of the bridge, we used to have a short time in the past a border between Nazi Germany on that side, because Hitler annexed that village, which was opposite, around 1938 and 7 before. And this side of Bratislava was Czechoslovakia. You are looking at the symbol of Czechoslovakia here. It was in the middle. So imagine that when Czechoslovaks who still lived in that village learned about that Nazis, Hitler is coming to that side to take over, they would immediately run away from there to back safe Czechoslovak side, yeah, and there was the border like this. Afterwards, anyway, we were highly influenced by him, but just that you know that this was the first area that he annexed and he came here. His excuse was that there were still lots of Germans living there, but he faked the numbers. You know, there were much less Germans living, but this was his excuse that lots of, you know, German people live there, so we have to take over. And it's on the way from Austria, right? Because when you go now also to the opposite side, where it's a suburb now of Bratislava, okay, you drive that way towards the hill into distance. Over there it's Austrian border, so Austria starts from there, right? So he came like that. Yeah, but thanks God it's over. Afterwards, this bridge was named the Red Army Bridge because the Soviets were here, and currently this is after many renovations from the 2016. As you see, it's for the trams, pedestrians, and all the wheels, you know, can come. And now the view. Of course, we have the river Danube. In Slovak language, we call it the Dunaj. It flows, of course, from Germany north through main cities like Vienna, Bratislava, Budapest, continuation to Hungary. Very important river, strategic. We have the tourism, we have the commerce. By the way, it was also running during communism, just that they were control the boats, you know, a lot, the commerce, the freight, and all that. With the views, we see the castle, of course, on the hill. I recommend you going there if you don't go on the city castle tour. It's really lovely, beautiful. Inside, you can enter to the museum with the entrance ticket. There are beautiful French-style Baroque gardens. But also has such a bizarre feeling when I walk after this. If you listen to me, you understand what it is, right? Or you can guess it. So what is it? What it represents?
A gate.
Yeah, a gate. Not the original one, but it's like the symbol of how it was here in the past. Remember I told you that we had this city wall system. So, and we had 4 gates in Bratislava. Medieval, so it's from 13th, 14th century. So we are here stopping on the border with them. So Here you see, so when you want to see something remain from the city walls, you can come or walk till the end of the street. You go to the cathedral, and from that side towards north, you will see the 10% that remain from the walls. Right? You can, in summer and spring season, you can enter them. Now you can just observe from the outside. And the Michael's Gate is definitely beautiful, or Michael's Tower. You know, there was a gate and a tower with that. And of course, as you noticed there, I explained to you that's the symbol you already now know. It's belonging to the symbol of Bratislava. It's connected to the gate as well. And I mentioned that they took them down because the expansion of the city came or happened. Over here, this building, for example, is from 1940s. So it was already Second World War. It's a functionalistic building, but it was renovated in 2000, the year. So originally there used to be a bank, but currently there is a drama theater, this one, close to you. There is a gym underground, and there are multiple apartments upstairs where people live, and some offices like attorney and some boutiques and stuff like that. Yeah, so, by the way, later on, if you want, you can enter. There's such a passage you can check the architecture inside. philosophical faculty only. I studied there to boast a bit, you know, let's say, for fun. I personally love the views from the windows this way, you know, from this side of the Danube River. I saw, you know, the boats and all this free life, so I was like craving it. Anyway, by the way, this building served as a provisional parliament when we created Czechoslovakia in Bratislava for the meetings, because we didn't have decided building for that yet. The same during Second World War, they would have meetings, political meetings inside of it, because inside there are beautiful big halls and, you know, for also concerts, so they used it in the past. These both buildings, by the way, are the same era and the same style, secession, but they are differently made, you know. So it's like Art Nouveau, but a little different. And this one, this is a middle school. It's mechanical engineering. It has a big tradition from 1904. It has its typical style. We created a funny nickname for it, let's say. So we call it the Harry Potter School, the Hogwarts. I know, a little different, but okay, kind of. But it's like very favorite. It has a big tradition. In the past, they would have different languages, but currently there is a big university in second biggest city in Czech called Brno, Masaryk University, one of the really best ones in Europe generally and Central Europe. So in 1918 we was elected. Then, as I said, there was a little break in Second World War. First time we they used to have masquerade balls inside, so ballroom. And there is also one side from that entrance is used for inaugurations. So one last inauguration inside was in 2019 of our current president, which is a lady. First time woman, so Czechs are pretty jealous of her. Czechs, they had also their presidential elections a month ago. There was a woman, and by coincidence she was quite similar to ours, blonde, sympathetic lady, but they didn't make it, so we're the only ones with women. Anyways, that's the building, but I'm stopping here for the statue, not this. In Slovakia we have lots of soups like goulash as well and different ones. This is a big specialty. By the way, always our lunches, Saturday and Sunday, we have always soup and the main dish. And that's like a typical lunch menu. So this is the creamy garlic soup in the bread. Yeah, so you can eat the cup together. Don't tear it from here because you lose the soup and you don't want it. Yeah, it's a creamy, dense, liquid, garlic. If you're on a rendezvous, I'm sorry, but you only live once. So this here is the top national Slovak dish now. It wasn't always. It's called halušky, sheep cheese dumplings with brinza cheese and roasted bacon on top. Brinza cheese is very special, lots of vitamins. From sheep, they eat the grass, so it's like very healthy as well. It has a special flavor, and salty. This here is a friend of halušky. It's called strapačky. We love cabbage here, so it's with sauerkraut cabbage, yeah. And again, the bacon. That's the top. Now you will see lots of dough with something sweet. This is dessert. Poppy seed, melted butter into sugar. There is an option with walnut as well. Walnut or poppy. Very nice. Good thing is that it's not on a big plate because it's dessert, a little small one. As you can notice, our food is not gluten-free nor dairy, lactose is free, so this here, I recommend, this was a Czechoslovak shared dish. So when you go to Prague, they have this, yeah? I don't recommend you to take halušky in Prague, yeah? It's my humble recommendations. We tried it, we didn't like it. Anyway, this you can have. It's a sír, vypražený sír. It's like fried cheese with some potatoes and tartar sauce. It's very yummy, not healthy at all, but who cares sometimes. Try, it's really good. We have lots of cheese. When you go to supermarkets, you find with herbs, with paprika, something wet. This here, it's sweet pastry invented in Bratislava in 18th century already. There are several cafes and spots where they sell it. It changed the names. It's like this in the hand, crescent shape. One is U shape, one is C shape, walnut or poppy. We absolutely love it. Give it a try. Yeah. It's also nice for breakfast. Drinks, profile soft drinks. Yeah, I told you. Kofola, it's the #1 soft drink. It's like Coke, but forget the Coke. Yeah. This was invented when we were a communist country. Iron Curtain here. So our scientists made it because we couldn't have Coke. 14 herbs, licorice very dominant, caffeine and no acid phosphoric. Okay? We love it here, yeah? Give it a try. You go to the shops, you find cans, bottles, glass, whatever. Vina, it's from grapes, yes, soft drink, white or red. Very nice. Beers, of course, we love them too. Zlatý Bažan is top Slovak brand. All kinds of different, you have them on my list that I give you in a while. Some wines, I told you we have wine region. We have also black currant wine from one suburb. It's a little sweeter, very nice. Honey wine, it's the medovina, like meat. Tokaj we have, and special sorts also from Slovakia. You can ask for them.
Honey wine?
Honey wine, meat, medovina. From honey, it's about 13%. Yeah. And in wintertime, at Christmas market, we have it whole. And the volume of the alcohol is up. So, schnapps and spirits. Jemenovka is herbal. Borovička is top national. It's a juniper brandy. It's like gin, but much stronger, like the taste of it. It's around 40-50%. Slivovica is plum brandy. These three are from about 52%. Marhulovica is apricot. Ruškovica is pear. I don't have the whole list. When you go to pubs, bars, you'll find some cherries, raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, apples, blah blah. Whatever grows here, yeah? We make a schnapps. And this down is also a favorite gift